First, congratulations to Coach Franklin and the football team. Amazing what he has done here to have the opportunity to win 10. 3 straight years, I think that's right, 3 straight years, just unbelievable. So congrats to them and good luck. Really learned, we continue to learn, we continue to grow. I thought we had our chances. 1 possession game, minute to go. Give Cowan credit. He took big shots, he made big shots. We were right there, 61-59, actually took a brief lead. It was nice to see Rossier play that way. Hit a big 3, got a floater, makes free throws. I think we can count on him. Lamar's been really consistent. Josh probably had one of his best halves of the season. So, we need Mike, and that's going to take some time. I told you that he's been out since Michigan last year. So it's going to take a little while to get his, his conditioning right, his timing right, and to trust everything. But overall, I thought our defensive effort was very good, and offensively, it's only a matter of time because I don't want to score 60 points. That's not what I want to do. I want to be 70 plus, and it's only a matter of time that we start to do that, and these younger guys step up on a more consistent basis.
Are we okay without the mics? Or
no, go ahead and grab them. Just WPSU is wired in to film.
So Pat,
Me?
I can't not ask about the foul situation on Saturday.
Is it trying to get me in trouble? Didn't you do this like 5 years ago?
I'm teeing you up, buddy.
We have to learn how to play harder without fouling. How's that sound?
So is that fair to characterize that you're more concerned with their 25 shots at the free throw line than your 6?
26? I thought it was 25.
So they had 25, you had 6. So are you not concerned about your 6?
I am concerned about our 6. I thought we had, I know we had 60 paint touches.
Right.
So we were in the paint 60 times. They weren't in the paint 60 times. So we have to learn to adjust, and that's what I was trying to do at timeouts. Learn to adjust, move your feet, be in stances, show the habits and the discipline that we've created up until this point. You're a top 10 defensive team for a reason. It's unfortunate.
And then just to build on it, you I think it was the press conference that you had before going down there mentioned about wanting to get to the line more in the first place. Is there something that you've just even beyond whether or not they're calling a fair game, is there something that you guys are doing offensively that you feel like is not warranting a call in certain circumstances?
60 paint touches. We hit the paint more than they did. I like what we're doing. We're putting in the post. We're driving the ball. We're doing some different things. We're moving Lamar around. Josh is getting in there. It's one of those games.
I'll leave it at that.
So do you do anything after a game like that? Do you complain to the league? Do you talk to your players? If you don't want to answer it, I get it.
No. You want to talk to the league to say why and what can we do better, and am I teaching something incorrectly that's the officials are supposed to do A and we're doing B? Tell me if I'm doing something wrong. So.
Okay, and on a different topic, where are the areas that Mike has to not get better, but get readjusted? Because we've seen him do it out on the floor. What are some of the areas that you see that, okay, he's got to do A, B, and C?
First, he's got to get in shape. That's 1. 2, he's got to trust his body. I'll take you back to Tim Frazier's senior year. Remember, it was a little bit of a roller coaster. He didn't trust the Achilles. He didn't trust it completely. We got great docs here. We got the best trainer in the world here. Just trust it. But it's going to take him a while. I've had a series of knee surgeries too, and it takes you a little while to finally say, I'm back. Oh, I'm feeling good. So he's going through the conditioning part and the mental part of his knee. So it's going to take some time, and I knew that. And hopefully we just keep giving him minutes here and there and develop the habits again, because he barely played last game because he was in foul trouble. So hopefully he'll be up and running and feeling himself again by feeling Mike Watkins and playing like himself by January.
And you mentioned it. I mean, are you suggesting that he had knee surgery that we didn't know about?
No. He
Okay.
did not. He did not. I had the surgery. But I'm just saying, when you have something go wrong with you medically, it takes a little while.
At what point was he back to 100% from that? I mean, or is he still not back at 100%?
No, he was going hard in July. So physically, he was on the floor.
And then you had, I think John was in at the end of the game. Was that because you have a little bit more confidence in him defensively in those clutch situations at this time?
Yeah, right now I did it at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And I did it at Maryland. I thought Johnny, again, played really well for his minutes. Tap dunk, tip layup, played great defense on the other end. I mean, he's doing some good things for us.
Only one refereeing question, I promise. But I'd say a few years ago, you felt like the way that you said guys have earned the right to take those shots, you were not getting the respect in a refereeing situation that you felt like you deserved. It seems like the past few seasons that there's been less of a disparity. I don't know if that's just because you've gotten better in different areas that lead to less fouling in the first place or what have you. But does it make games like that feel like an aberration? Because for the most part, it seems like you guys have gotten it fair for the most part, or at least you're getting bad calls as much as the next guy.
I feel like we've leveled the playing field across the board, talent-wise, perception-wise. We got to keep doing that. Obviously, we didn't do the right things last game. I'll say that. And we got to clean up. We got to develop better habits. I thought Virginia Tech, that game was officiated as well as since I've been here. I thought it was pretty fair both ways, and that's all you could ask for.
And the deep three late in the last game, I felt like John played pretty good defense on that because he gets too close and the guy goes by. And what did you see in that situation? Is that just a guy currying you, or what is?
He was by the Gary. Was it Gary Williams?
Yeah.
Or is it lefty?
Gary.
It's
No,
Gary. It's Gary.
Williams, yeah.
He was by his signature. We tried to trap him because we knew he wanted to take the shot. Probably left a hair early, but he pulled up from 40 feet. So what was it, 35, whatever it is, and he made big shots. He made big plays down the stretch.
And obviously it's still very early, and you guys have got some good ones that count and don't count under your belt. But how do you deal with these younger guys that have, a lot like Tony and Lamar and those guys that had won a lot in high school, not that you're headed in that direction, but just generally keeping them on the same level after a win, after a loss, when maybe they've only known one thing for a while?
Yeah, it's a good point. Just stay the course. It's a long season. Let's keep learning from each game. Don't get too high, don't get too low. We weren't in there hooting and hollering after Virginia Tech. I mean, we were excited. We had a good win, but it wasn't like, we were jumping around. I think we expect to win every game, and we've been in every game. We're a few possessions away from being 7-0. Our team and our coaching staff is putting us in position on the road, at DePaul, on the road, at Maryland, with a chance to win. And that's what you want. And we're going to learn from these experiences. Got it done against Virginia Tech, didn't get it done against Maryland. But with each passing repetition or possession or game, Rogier's going to get that much better. Miles is going to get that much better. Our sophomores are going to get that much better. And that's really going to help us as we approach really the 18-game slate that starts in January.
You've been saying for the past couple of weeks that you needed to get Josh going. How big is that first half performance for him, and how does that get him confidence going forward?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we need him to play that aggressively. And he had 17, and he did everything. I mean, he stuffed the box score for sure. But I'd like to see him continue that aggressiveness in the second half. When I was at Villanova, Scotty Reynolds had 20 in the first half. Jay Wright turned to him and said, "You better have 40 when this game's over." Hit 40. We beat Connecticut at Connecticut. Kevin Freeman's still mad about it.
And I know the status is up in the air, but in Indiana's last game, Juwan Morgan got hurt. Do you pay attention to that? Do you kind of keep an eye on that? And if he doesn't play, does that change?
We are preparing for Juwan Morgan. He's a senior. He's a warrior. He's a thoroughbred. He's going to be playing in a Big Ten game. That kid is just all heart.
What would be like your generic scouting report of Indiana? What do they do well? How do you guys combat that?
He's playing a lot like he did at Dayton. I don't know if he did that as much last year. I think he likes his guards and his speed. They're playing a lot faster. I mean, Langford is everything that you guys read about. I'm watching film on him, and I'm absolutely impressed. Made big shots against Northwestern. I mean, he basically won the game because Morgan was out for the last few minutes there. He hits a step back three. He hits a little floater going right. And he's really long and talented. And Morgan's been, ripping it off for a couple of years now. Started with Tom, now under Archie. I mean, he's very difficult to defend. And then their guards are kind of like our guards, young, but they're fast, they're tough, they're playing much better defense. They have a little bit more depth now that everybody's healthy, with Roberts is back. So it's going to be a great challenge. But they definitely want to score, 75 plus points. And we got to play with our foundation right now, which is our defense. But somehow, some way, we got to start putting the ball in the basket. We can't rely on Lamar every single night to get 25. Well, somebody's got to help him out, and it needs to be more than 2 or 3 guys. It needs to be a group effort. And you know me on the offensive end. I give guys the green light, step up, shoot with confidence. We'll live with the results as long as you're giving me everything on the other end and rebounding. So that's going to be this practice. Today's about us and what we need to do a better job on the offensive end.
Is it difficult to prepare for a guy like Langford? Obviously, obviously comes from high school with the talent he had, but from a small sample size and they played the one Big Ten game, so it's difficult to kind of scout for him in that regard.
You know what, playing the schedule that we've played, I think we'd all agree in the room, we've played a very difficult schedule. Everybody's, what are they called now? Net. Everybody's numbers, whatever that is very good, 100 or lower, or maybe just over. So I think by the schedule we played, and Josh and Lamar, the veterans that we have, it's not just about one guy, it's about what we do as 5 guys, as a unit out there to play our way, defending and rebounding.
You lost one game last year in regulation by double digits. The first 2 or 3 years ago, I think you lost 19. Is the sell to younger guys easier when the games are competitive, even if you lose off and on? I mean, is it easier to get them engaged in that process when it's a basket or two, not 5 minutes of play?
It's a good point, and they know that stat. I think it's our leaders. Our leaders expect to win. Josh, Lamar, and John, we expect to win. So I think that mentality, their leadership, and knowing what we did last year, I think, that's going to keep them confident. That's going to keep them moving forward. I'm going to keep spending time with them, but the leaders are going to spend time with them like, hey, one possession at a time. We have to continue to get better. This is one of the most difficult schedules we've ever had, but it's going to prepare us for what the Big Ten has for us in January, February, March.
Do you think that's something that gets overlooked outside the building? I mean, I would say for the most part, anybody in here would say that you've got, for the most part, a puncher's chance, if not an evenish chance in every game that you're playing, and that was just not the case 6 years ago.
I would say 3 years ago. You're right, Penn. And I believe that this team believes that we should win every game that we've played in so far. And that's great to have. That's the culture we now have. And we got to stay that way. We got to have that belief. We got to have that confidence. We got to keep that going. That starts with me. How I handle stuff after games, how I handle practices, how I handle individual meetings and team meetings and film sessions. Our film session was incredibly positive. And why shouldn't it be? He hit 2 bombs to beat us. So we're doing our job on that end. And I felt like, and Lamar, if he could, is he coming up? He had 2 layups. He actually had 3. 2 going right that went in and out, and 1 going left that went in and out, and John had a tip in that just didn't get over the rim. We had our chances. Cowan just made big plays. That's what big time players do.
Any other questions for Coach? Maybe
just one more. This doesn't have to be specific to Saturday, but I noticed it. When Lamar wasn't getting a whistle, it seemed like there was some bad body language, or some body language maybe. Do you get concerned at all when he isn't getting a whistle about his whether or not he'll keep going into the paint, like whether or not he will continue to take those looks.
Yeah, no. First of all, we talked to Lamar. Hey, road attitude. We're gonna be fine. Second, he is averaging 7 point whatever free throw attempts a game. How he doesn't get to the free throw line is still mind-boggling. Third, in huddles, I'm telling him keep driving the basketball. Keep doing what you're doing. It's gonna happen. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Perfect. I said that. Perfect.